Might we, for today's show, issue this warning? Be very careful, because the one word that pretty much sums it all up is who.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Verkinnes. All the news you're about to hear is true, as far as you know.
Here we go. I'm so excited. Gin brewed with ants. Poop wine. Male testicle beer.
I've had some crap wine in my time.
Yeah, that's not what they're talking. Whale testicle beer flavored with the smoked dung of Icelandic sheep. Whale testicle beer. You would think that would be enough. Why add the Icelandic sheep dung? The beverage collection sounds like a menu in the world's worst happy hour, but it's actually part of a new exhibit at the aptly named Disgusting Food Museum in Malmö, Sweden. One question leaps to mind: who in their right mind would want to put a disgusting food museum anywhere? But at least it's in Malmö, Sweden, so hardly anyone will see it.
Well, not only that, but it's pretty common. I mean, you've had lutefisk, right?
That's Norwegian.
Well, it's just a backwards version in Sweden.
That's true. If you eat lutefisk backwards, then it would be Swedish.
Yeah, exactly.
The museum is already known for its peculiar culinary displays, such as maggoty cheese from Sardinia, Icelandic fermented shark flesh.
I've heard of that, and that's
flesh.
That's just disgusting.
I would have to be dead 3 days before I would try that.
Go back to the news story about the exploding whale.
Peruvian frog smoothies. That I might try if I was drugged.
No.
For the new 3-month long
Kermit in a blender, add gin, and
poop wine. Great, thanks. Now you made that gross for me, because it wasn't before.
It wasn't gross before.
Yeah. For the new 3-month long exhibit, which opened to the public in September, we have found the strangest, most interesting, and challenging alcohol types from the world, said the museum director. Some of the exhibited alcohols showcase different types of homemade alcohols going back thousands of years, while others are experimental, made by local brewers who honestly should know better. One highlight is the Scottish beer. That is the strongest beer in the world, a staggering 55% alcohol by volume. And you know what that means? Have a lot of that beer before you go through the rest of the exhibit.
And bring them up.
I may sum all this up with one word. Ew. Just ew. Scott?
Well, speaking of disgusting things, if you point your attention to the screen, you will see that BrewDog Columbus has brought on the end of history, really. Now, this happened back in 2016, but it doesn't mean it's not gross. Basically, they are allowing people in Ohio to brew beer over 12% ABV. Okay. So that's how it relates to the previous story, right? But this is what they're doing with it.
Shoving beer bottles into squirrels.
And having your drink from, I'm trying to think. Somebody woke up in a fever, sat bolt upright in bed and said, I know, we're going to shove it up a squirrel's butt. That'll taste great.
See, at first when you look at that picture,
yeah,
I thought that was the bottom of the bottle and it was pouring out. Well, not the mouth.
Well, I think it's just simply safe to say.
Ew.
Yeah.
All right, as long as you're doing gross. Sir Isaac Newton, famous for developing the 3 laws of motion.
There's 2 of them.
And advancing calculus, which is silly, numbers and letters all together. Apparently had a far-out idea for how to treat the plague, also called the Black Death. His treatment would be toad vomit lozenges. In addition to recommending a number of gemstone amulets against the plague.
I'm going
so
with
it wasn't all
first.
science for Sir Isaac, was it?
No.
He gave detailed instructions on how to make the putrid toad vomit treatment, according to 2 unpublished pages handwritten by Newton that are now in the auction block. Who in God's name would buy those? Look, I have Newton's vomit lozenges, great for the plague.
Newton's vomit lozenges, great for the plague.
Newton describes in detail how to suspend a toad by its leg in a chimney for 3 days.
Why don't you just suspend it by a leg? I mean,
Well, you have to, because you got to hang it there for 3 days, and then it will vomit up earth and various insects.
nice.
That must be caught on a dish of yellow wax. Then after the toad dies, its body should be turned into powder, mixed with what you have collected, and made into lozenges and worn about the affected area.
Oh, thank God.
No,
I thought you had to suck on them.
don't care. I'm dying of the plague.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.